Glamorous, yeah. Is that how you spell glamorous? Glam. Let's get started on this cake. Hi everybody, welcome to Man Cake. My name is Dan, and today we're going to be making a delicious, but also glamorous, yummy sponge cake. Now I say glamorous because we have the king of the north himself, Mark from Epic Confections, our Canadian brother who's going to be making his own beautiful glamorous cake, I'm sure. So be sure to go ahead and check out his channel also. I'll be putting his link down below, and it's going to be up to all of you to vote on which cake you think is the most glamorous. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you know when brand new recipes are available. Now let's go ahead and get started on our glamorous cake. So before we start, be sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And in a mixing bowl, we're going to add 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of corn flour, same thing as cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Now let's go ahead and whisk up all these dry ingredients. Now for our wet ingredients, let's get a separate mixing bowl and add in 4 eggs at room temperature, 1/2 cup of whole milk, again at room temperature, and then we'll just whisk those all up real quick. So we have our dry and our wet. Let's go ahead and get ready to mix them all together. So with your dry ingredients, we're going to add 1 stick of butter, softened and sliced, this way it's going to be easier to mix in with our dry ingredients. And using your hand mixer on a low speed, this way you don't get a big puff of flour in your face, and go ahead and start incorporating the butter with the dry ingredients. And then we want to follow that with our second stick of softened butter, sliced into more manageable pieces. And then with our hand mixer, we'll go ahead and just mix those all together. Now with the butter incorporated into our dry ingredients, let's go ahead and add in half of our wet ingredients. Now with our hand mixer, we just want to go ahead and beat until incorporated. Once incorporated, we're going to add in the second half of our wet ingredients and mix on a low to medium speed until everything's nice and smooth. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. For today's video, we're going to be topping off with dark blue food gel coloring. You can skip this part, or if you have another favorite color, you can always go ahead and add that in also. For me, blue is pretty glamorous, you know. I won't try to spell the word again. But let's go ahead and add in our dark blue food gel coloring. And then for one last time with our hand mixer, let's mix those all up until our sponge cake batter is nice and blue. Now once your cake batter is nice and blue, we can go ahead and add that into our prepared springform pans. Today I'm going to be using 3 4-inch springform pans, but if you want a bigger cake, you can always go ahead and just add this into an 8-inch or a 9-inch or a 10-inch, all up to you. At the end of the day, it's just cake. It's a glamorous cake, but it's just cake. And once your cake pans are filled up with your cake batter, you can go ahead and pop those in the oven to bake for 30 minutes. So our cakes are baked, they cooled out a bit, nice and leveled. Now we can go ahead and start decorating. For the buttercream, I'm using my same buttercream recipe I've used for a bunch of episodes here on Man Cake, but I'll be sure to put those ingredients along with the directions down below in the description. Along with that subscribe button that's also down there. Just a nice little click. Now it's time to decorate and really just glam this cake out like there's no tomorrow. Now a nice little trick I like to do with the cake stand is give a nice little dab of buttercream on the bottom. This way the first layer of cake doesn't really jiggle around that much. So in our first layer of cake, we're going to go ahead and add a nice yummy layer of buttercream. And then we'll just smooth it out with our offset spatula. And then add on our second layer. And we'll get another yummy layer of buttercream. And then we'll add in our top layer. Inverted, so it has a nice, smooth, flat top. There's a pun for you. Now let's go ahead and start covering the outsides of this glamorous cake with more delicious buttercream. Then taking your bench scraper, you go ahead and gently press it up against the edge of the cake and then just rotate your cake stand or your cake board, wherever your cake's at, and rotate it until the sides are nice and smooth. Now let's go ahead and add some more buttercream on top of the cake. And then we'll just smooth it out with our offset spatula. Now let's go ahead and let our cake chill out in the fridge or the freezer for a couple minutes. So now that our cake's chilled out for a couple minutes, we can go ahead and start piping on some more of that delicious buttercream. Let's go ahead and let our little tiny glamorous cake chill out again just for a couple minutes. Now that everything's all chilled out again, let's go ahead and add on the finishing touches. Our one of 2 finishing touches is going to be a nice little bottom border of bright, colorful, glitzy, glamorous, yummy sprinkles. Or jimmies, depending on where you're from. I know they're called a lot of different things. All you want to do is just take your sprinkles, just around the border of the cake on the bottom, and then just take your hands and just press them up. Give a nice little hug, not too much though, and just keep repeating that until you are nice and happy with your sprinkle bottom border. And lastly, let's go ahead and add on some sparkle with some gold luster dust. And once you add those finishing touches, you'll have your cute little sparkly, glamorous cake. Look at that sparkle. Now I say we slice into it and have ourselves a nice little taste. Now the taste test. You gotta taste all the layers. A perfect blue sponge cake. Super spongy, just super everything. Just amazing cake. Definitely should give it a try. And if you do make this cake, definitely tag me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, and wherever you're at, just give me a nice little tag. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe while you're down there. And check out Mark at Epic Confections for his glamorous cake. And be sure to vote on which one you think is the most glamorous. Until next week, bye! Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining me for this wonderful, glamorous cake challenge. Your channel is just fantastic.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
Love you and your confectioners.
Confectioners, yeah.
Your confectioners are they're all wonderful, and your love for them is just always fantastic. And I'm glad to be a confectioner. So, guys, definitely be sure to check out Epic Confections. I'll throw his link down below. Show him some wonderful love and, say hi. And don't forget to vote for your favorite glamorous cake. If you like Mark's, go ahead and give his video a thumbs up. But you should do that anyway. If you like mine, give a good thumbs up. But I'm biased and, it might be little, but it's still glamorous.
So glamorous.